sells. And then if I, you know, short a stock and I take my profits or take a loss, whatever, and I think the stock is going higher, you can buy. You can use that as a buy. Every trade has a buy and a sell, whether the sell comes first and then the buy, or whether it's a buy and a normal sell. So there's so many different angles. Understand that. Here is the chart. Well, this is another chart. This is Stan. I guess we're saving some good stuff for later. That's kind of pissing me off. I don't need to do this PowerPoint really great. That's stupid. But this one was a 2-day spike with that one little red day. And that one little red day obviously led to this. And then you see the death kind of fade over many months. You know, you can take your profits, as I did, from 4.5 down to like 4, 3.5, drop to 2.5 within a few days.
I'm multitasking, man.
Down to 50 cents 6 months later. I mean, it's amazing how much they drop. STXX,
multitasking.
Spike right here. This was the spike we were focusing on, and then see how it played out over the next few days. Local.com. These guys put out the most.
While I'm studying, I'll answer your questions too. So that's how we're gonna do this. We're only doing live comment questions. We'll just do it that way. I'll wait for your questions and I'll answer them.
Hiding behind disclaimer press releases I've ever seen. This spike right here was when they got at a revolutionary patent about their revolutionary, you know, local search engines. Search in your area code and advertisers can advertise.
You'll know in a minute.
It was a great spike.
Dominic, what's up, man?
20 million, 30 million shares, became the most actively traded stock in the world. It was a great short selling opportunity, as you can see from this chart. Don't believe any of these PRs; they're full of crap. Intraday chart patterns. Where's my SHZ? God, what an idiot I am. I don't know. I'm sure it's coming up sometime, maybe. SHZ eventually went back to the crapper. Intraday chart patterns. Buy into spikes, don't short, they can run.
BKLYN, he asked, he says, when you leaving the oil field? That's a good question, man. I was planning on leaving in November, but I think shit might change. I think things are going to change a little bit. I'm actually thinking about buying a Peterbilt. Peterbilt, I'm looking at, it's 80,000 bucks to show Peterbilt. It's a 1996 or some shit like that. I'll show you in a minute. So I might buy a truck. Reason I might buy a truck is just like, all right, I think of it like, here's my logic in this. All right, so if I buy a truck, I'm making $5,000, $7,000, $9,000 a week, right? Cash pocket. That's not even fuel, right? That's not even fuel. So I'm making, on a good week, $9,000, on a slow week, $5,000. You know, cash pocket. That's the fuel cut out and all that shit. That being said, yeah, you got maintenance, you got shit that break. We know that. But what I'm saying, on average, you're making $5,000 to $9,000 a week. You know, if I have my own truck. So I think I might stay out here just until I get a little bit more comfortable with the stocks. Once I get comfortable with the stocks and I start seeing my account grow with the stocks, then I'll jump ship. But I'm not gonna just jump ship just with a few $1,000 bucks, you know, $20,000, $30,000 and just haul ass. You know what I mean? Fuck all that. I want to leave here, you know, like I said, with my account, both my accounts, whether it's a trucking account and the stock account. But I'm more focused on the stock account, because once I can build the stock account and I see it continually growing, then I'll get the fuck up out of here and then I'll do whatever the fuck I want. All right, next question. Dominic, I don't know how to say your name, SKUPI Capina. He asks, do the company accept a rental truck? I don't know. You have to call and ask him, man. Mud Transport LLC, what's up, boy? Dominic, he asks again, do you plan on getting your own truck? Yep, I already explained that. It's an option. It's not like a 100. Here, I'll show you the truck I'm looking at.
Than anyone thinks possible. Wait till you see this chart, intraday chart of IDMI, the one that I shorted at 3, and it just kept going to 375. Wait for sideways price action, fades to short. That was that SHZ one where I shorted right when it looked like it was about to break 840. Sometimes, I encourage you to wait for the break. Sometimes illiquid stops you have to be early, because if you wait for the break, you're going to miss it by like 50 cents, and that's like your profit. Morning is the time when most spikes occur. These are just basic guidelines. These don't work every single time, but morning is the time when most spikes occur because you have short sellers covering, momentum buyers. They like to trade the first half hour of the day. Very rarely do you have spikes at 10, 11, 12 p.m., midday. It just doesn't happen. Sometimes it does, but most of the time not. Especially beware of midday fakeouts. You might have a stock that's going down, let's say one of these supernovas, and it was up a lot, and in the morning it's coming down gradually. It looks like it's going negative, and it goes negative at like noon. Very, very careful, because if it's down a lot off its highs, which happens quite a bit, or even not down on its highs, but somehow it goes negative around 10, 11, 12, even 12:30, 1 p.m. It's not guaranteed to stay red on the day. And oftentimes, lots of people, I'm not the first one to notice that the first red day is a great shorting opportunity. This isn't rocket science here. Lots of people see that. So lots of people short early because they think that they're going to get, a better execution now, shorting early rather than later. I say wait until shorting into the close, because lots of times stock goes negative, but it...
All right, so this is a truck I was looking at. They want 80 grand for this truck. It's a 1996 Peterbilt 379 EXHD. They want 80 grand. Obviously, that's negotiable, I'm sure. This is the inside. You see the cat motor in that bitch. That's the inside. Inside. It's clean. So that's what it looks like on the outside. Oh. So yeah, that bitch is clean, man. It's clean like a motherfucker. 80 grand? Can't beat that, boy. Anyway, so next question. Next question.
Can't really go big time negative, and it spikes back up, and you get squeezed for the afternoon, and then you have a morning spike the next day for shorts who are too stubborn to cover. Here's a typical chart of a stock that is breaking out. Let me go this way. I gotta learn to use my right hand. This is a morning spike, okay? This stock was...
That's right. What is that? Titus the trucker? Damn right. That's guaranteed money, man. Yeah, that money just comes. That money just be coming. Alex Lambert, he says, just started following your page and subscribe. What companies are you with, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, I'm not gonna answer that. It's just a company. Just say owner operator I drive for. David Castle, he asks, how are the oil fields in North Dakota? We are picking up a lot here in the Permian Basin. Where is the Permian Basin? Where is that at? Yeah, it's busy, man. It's North Dakota. North Dakota's about to get real cold out here, like January, February. So it's gonna get kind of nasty out here. So I'm just starting to get I'm getting some light over here. There we go. Getting a lot of light over here. Might have to shut that bitch off. Yeah, we're gonna shut that off. Yeah, we're gonna kill that light. truckers are needed in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Breaking out of the time FPP, remember that chart where it went from basically 2 up to 6 in 3 days, and it went up to 9 eventually? This is how it plays out. Morning, you have this straight up action, then all day it's kind of sideways, where it's like, you know, like you have a high right here and it's trying to break the high right here. But midday, again, not just midday fake outs to the downside, midday fake outs to the upside. It's very tough to break out, you know, when a stock is up. We're talking about a stock that's already up 30% on the day with no news. Just because oil is up. So when you have that kind of up move already, it's very tough to go up 50%. But it did hold its gains. You see here, it had support. It's
Dominic, he asked, can you run oil fields? Can you run oil field under your own authority? That's a good question, man. I don't know. I don't have my own authority. Most of the guys out here that I've ran into, that I interviewed, that I talked to, what they usually do is they own their own truck, they own their own trailer, but they lease on under, I guess the owner operator. So basically, you're running under somebody else's authority, right? So that's what the guys have been doing that I've talked to. So I'm sure, yeah, you can have your own authority, but you would have to go, you know, you would have to find your. Basically, you have to go knock on doors and, you know, try to run with somebody. See, the problem with you having your own authority, I think, or running for somebody, you got to find somebody to lease onto regardless. Or not lease onto. What's the word I want to use? Like, say, for example, yeah, like the guy I'm driving right now, his truck. He's leased on leased onto a few people. You know what I mean? I don't really know how that works out, man. I couldn't really answer that honestly, because the brokers that we use, they have their own trucks too, so they run their own trucks, but we're running for them too. So I don't know if we're leased on. I don't really know how that shit works, man. You know, but I know one guy I talked to. He owns his own truck, but he doesn't have his own authority. He's leased on to that guy using his own authority, and that guy gets 15%, right? And whatever else. But the guy, like I said, even though he gets a 15% cut for using his own authority, the guy was still making $5,000 to $9,000 a week, cash pocket.
Downtrended a little bit from 425 to 4 right here, and then it held 4 again, once right here, and then it uptrended a little bit. So now the next day you have to think, wait a minute, if I think it's going higher, it'll probably take out 450. So you can either buy in anticipation that it's going to gap higher above 450, or with this stock, you know that the chances of a gap higher are very low. It doesn't like the gap, so I say wait. Sometimes you can buy in the morning. So usually there's a lot of sellers at 450 is kind of a round number. It's not on the dollar, but 50 cents, 25 cents, 75 cents. These are
no low
big
boards.
Orders usually grouped. So you can actually buy right into a big order.
Dominic, he asked, are there low boards? Fuck no, ain't no low boards, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's basically dispatch. So, for example, every broker that I use, right? I have 1, 2, 3. 1. Well, let's not even go there. We don't fuck with performance. So performance is out. Like I said before, don't ever haul for performance. Period. If you haul for performance, here's another reason why you don't want to haul for performance in North Dakota and Williston, North Dakota. One is because you do a lot of sitting, man. I gave you an example earlier. I had 2 loads, right? Two loads, both on 2 different days, right? All within a 7-day period. I had 2 loads, and each load I sat for over 10 hours apiece. That being said, not only did I sit for 10 hours apiece, plus I had to give them, I don't even remember how much free time. And then after the free time, I can only charge for 4 hours, and that's it. So anything after the 4 hours, you're sitting for free. So yeah, don't fuck with performance. You gotta be stupid to fuck with them. Like I was. Stupid as fuck. No one offer them no more. So besides performance, I got the other guy and this guy I'm fucking with. So I got 2 people I fuck with. 2 brokers. And with these two brokers, it's dispatch. So you call or you text, I only text, say, hey look, I need a load. Either they got a load and they give it to you, or they got a load, they give it to somebody else. And sometimes some of these brokers, they're so jammed with fucking truckers, there's a waiting list. There's a fucking waiting list. You gotta wait. And who's to say they might skip you and go to somebody else that, you know, that they like. So basically, that's another reason why I don't really want to fuck around and get no truck, because I got somebody else dictating when I get a load. You know, pretty much they dictate how much money I'm making. So either I stay where I'm at right now and keep driving somebody else's shit without me having to worry about fuel, without me worrying about fuel cost, maintenance, without me worrying about all the other bullshit that goes around having your truck. Alright? And always be making money. I'm always gonna get a check every week. You know? So, but if I have my own truck, I gotta worry about all that shit. Then I gotta worry about the next motherfucker, the dispatch, telling me what load he gonna give me. You know what I'm saying? So basically, it's kind of like forced dispatch. You know, either you take it or you leave it. That's why you got to know how to negotiate these motherfuckers. I'll tell you an example. You know, like I'm in Williston, right? Williston to Stanley is like 100 miles, right? From Williston to Stanley, it's like 100 miles. Motherfucker was trying to get me to go from Williston to Stanley on a deadhead. I'm like, nah, man, fuck that. I'm in Williston. You gotta load it close to Williston? I'll run it. I ain't gonna go no 100 fucking miles to go pick up a fucking load to only go 25 miles down the road, and then have to sit and wait. You know what I'm saying? Sit and wait to have them give me another load. Sometimes they won't even give you another load because they ain't got a load, or they got somebody else that they want to give loads to. You know what I mean? That's the bullshit you got to deal with, because you can't just call up a broker like how we used to do I used to do over the road. But like, hey, look, I'm in Chicago. You got a load? Yeah. What load you got? And they'll just give you a whole rundown, or you'll have an app. You can see all the loads that are running, and you just pick one. Here, they ain't like that. These motherfuckers here, they got the power. You know what I'm saying? They got the power. So they'll say, hey, look, you'll text them today, or you call them and say, hey, you got any loads? You're like, yeah. You can't pick and choose. Sometimes they'll ask you, hey, where you want to go? You want to go? But most of the time, on some of these brokers, they'll be like, hey, we got a load going here. Take it or leave it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's the fucking bullshit about that part. And that's the part I don't like, especially if I got my own shit. If I got my own truck, I gotta depend on some motherfucker, telling me what he gonna give me, and fuck all that shit, man. I'd rather just keep my money. Now, if I don't get a truck, I'd rather just keep working out here, making $3,000 a week, or $2,000 a week, or $1,000 a week, whatever the fuck it is, right? And just stack up money. In the meantime, I got money, right? Hopefully I don't keep eating away at my fucking account with these dumbass losses. But if I continually make progress with some of these winners, right, maybe I'll be alright. But alright, let's get this. I got a lot of questions here. JR, what's up, man? Well, JJR, he asks, how many miles is a bad load? There's no bad loads out here. There's no bad loads. What I'm saying is, if you're in fucking Williston, right, and they want you to deadhead 100 miles to go pick up a fucking load that's only going 20 miles, you know, it's not worth it, you know? And that being said, you might fuck with a broker, you know, that's like take it or leave it. That's all I got right now. Or he doesn't want to give you a good load, or, you know, whatever it is. But for the most part, he'll say, hey, look, I got this load in Stanley. You can go pick it up. You got to deadhead 100 miles, right? And then the load's only 25 miles or whatever it is. And then you're stuck way the fuck 100 miles away, you know, and Stanley, you know, where the fuck the load is going. So I don't play that shit. So I've been getting hip. But before I used to run and run and run. It didn't matter where the fuck is it. Now it's just like now I'm like kind of getting smart about it. You know what I mean? So now if I'm in Williston, I won't pick up a load, you know, unless it's close to Williston. You know what I mean? And that's how I do it now. Everybody's different. But before I would just run anywhere. I'll run 100 miles to go get the fuck up. I won't do that shit no more. Blah. Bluba says, there's a shrink ray accident in a secret military base nearby. The soldiers smaller than ants. Wonder if the days I finally reach your place, they try to get your attention. How will it play out? I don't even know what the fuck you said. I don't even know what you said, man. I don't even want to read that. That didn't make any sense. You just see, he says, how cold is it up there? It's cold. It's getting cold. They got the wind chill cranking up. Right. The wind chill is pretty brutal up here. The wind is kicking like a motherfucker up here. It's 46 degrees right now, but we got the wind chill cranking up. The wind's probably about 20 miles an hour. 20 miles an hour up here. It was up 20 miles an hour. $24 miles an hour. Look at that. Look at that. 24 mile an hour wind chill. I mean, not wind chill, but 24 mile an hour winds, and it's 46 degrees. And tonight should be a low of 39. Well, in the morning it's gonna be around 34 degrees. You know, this wind been blowing like a motherfucker since last night. It's so powerful that it rocks the truck back and forth. So imagine when the snow and the negative degree weather comes in this motherfucker. It's gonna be bad shit. I'll be ready for it. Bring it, motherfucker. I'll be ready. I'm ready. That shit don't scare me. The only thing is, it'll affect my money, you know, because depending on how bad the roads are, you know, shit like that. I won't go in the mountains or some of these hills and shit around here if it's too icy and shit. But, Dominic, he says, have you considered any other oil field than North Dakota? Fuck no. The money's right here for me. JJR, he says, what the fuck is he talking about? I have no idea what the fuck he was talking about. I guess he just wanted me to read his comment. Sorry, though. Maybe he'll translate it for us. Reggie, he says, I have a CDL and BN driving since 2007. How can I get in the, he says, how can I get in that oil field? Craigslist. Go to Craigslist, man. Craigslist, that's how I got this job here. I looked all over the nation. You know, you got Colorado, you got Colorado. You can get a job doing some sort of oil there. One of the kids I grew up with, he's out there and he's doing watering. And he's making $7,000 a month, and he's home for the most part every night. Sometimes he doesn't, sometimes he's not home, but who gives a shit? He's still making $7,000 a week, or a month. I'm sorry, hauling water in Colorado. So he's doing good. So you got Colorado, you got New Mexico, you got Texas, you got North Dakota, you got Pennsylvania, and you got West Virginia, and you got some other states, but I don't know about all of them. But those are the states that I were looking on Craigslist as far as looking for jobs and shit. Dominic, he says, pay brokers some money to get a... Fuck them. I ain't gonna pay them shit. Fuck them. Pay him a goddamn backhand. Give him a backhand is what I'll give the motherfucker. Reggie's asked, he says, what is the good percentage to get from owner-operators if I sign on with one of them? Depending on how much experience you got as far as the driving experience, I wouldn't take no less than 28%. I mean, I really wouldn't take no less than 25%. You know, starting out, because you got no experience in the oil field. So I wouldn't take no less than 25%. 28 to 25%.
If you see the big order getting chipped away, and within a few minutes, I wouldn't be surprised, especially it worked out with this one, 450 up to like 5 or 550 within 10 minutes, because short squeezes are the next day. So you have this kind of spike action. You might have that in the morning, where literally spiked $1.25 inside of a half hour when the market opened. Here's another typical chart. This one is more, you have the morning upside right here, where it goes from 470 to 5. Very gradual, very gradual. This is a much more actively traded stock. Smith & Wesson, they make guns. But what this is an afternoon uptrend. And you can see here, the high was basically 525-ish. Again, a very round number. I'm sure there were some big orders at 525 that people didn't want to buy into. Took out 520 here, 530, and then it really surged in the last half hour. So we're talking about the first half hour and the last half hour. That is when most of the, that's when most of the action is. So it's good like that. Here is the IDMI chart that I was talking about, the intraday spike where it's so freaking crazy. This is intraday. So you see this little on February 5th. This whole thing is February 5th, where you have it going higher from $1.25 to $2. It's very nice when it stops right at $2. Again, there's probably big orders, big seller.
Yuda, he says, are you an owner operator? No, I'm just a driver.
There's that too. But then you have to learn to buy.
I make money like an owner operator, don't I?
It's up a lot on the day. You have the volume. Look at the volume.
Yeah.
You have the volume. Buy it when it breaks 2, because before it failed, now it has proven that it can go higher at $2 a share. You buy that thing. Very rare that it's going to go from 2 to 375 inside of an hour. Usually, if you buy the breakout at 2, at 3 p.m., buy a breakout like that where it's breaking to the new high, usually it's not going to go up that much. Usually it might close at 225, 210, and the next day it'll spike maybe to 250. This was a crazy super spike, and I shorted into this because I thought it was ridiculous.
I need to get,
and I was lucky enough / right enough.
Hey, I need to get more likes on here, man. We got a lot of. We need to get some more likes on here, man. I need to start throwing some more likes up there. We need some likes on here, man. They free. Likes are free. You're welcome, Dominic, man.
That it gapped down. You see, it closed at 375 and opened. It kind of tanked immediately, basically to 275. I got my average to like 320, 325. So I actually made money, but I made money a very dangerous way, and I don't recommend that. wait until pre-market. You know, wait until the close at least, because it could have also gapped to 5, and then it maybe would have come back down to 4. You don't know when it's going to end. That is the risk that you take. So wait until pre-market when it's down like 20 or 30 cents on the day already. You know, before 9:30 a.m. Then technically it should go down on the day. Although this was a weird one. You know, it's still 2 days later. Remember from the daily chart, this was back at $1.75. So it did downtrend. There's plenty of opportunities on the way up and on the way down.
How the fuck is this thing?
HTOG, I include this. Heartland Oil and Gas. This is another great example of a morning spike. You can see that. I mean, this is a sub penny stock. Look at the prices. I mean, we're talking 3/100ths of a penny. I don't play sub penny stocks. You know, I don't understand it. You can buy like 1 million shares. I don't want to understand it. I don't want to care. Maybe it's good for people, but I know that I can't do this. Even if the chart patterns are there, I definitely am not going to short a sub penny stock. I don't know. Well, I mean, imagine if it goes to a penny. I don't even want to think about what kind of percent gain. But this is a very normal.
All right, so let's see. Dominic asks, if you get your own truck, do you buy a trailer too? You can rent or buy. I would probably rent. I'd probably rent for a little bit. I don't know. It just depends. It's all about the money. And that's another thing. I don't want to come out of pocket. I'd rather use business credit to get all that trucking and the trailer. I don't want to be coming out with no cash. I'd rather let the truck pay for itself versus me coming out of pocket for the motherfucking cash. You get what I'm saying? So if I get my business credit to where I can get $100,000, $150,000, or $200,000 worth of credit, I would go ahead and buy that. If I get that much credit, like $150,000, I would go ahead and buy the truck, and then I would go ahead and buy a trailer. Yeah, but I'm not coming out of pocket buying no fucking cash to buy no truck. I let the truck pay for it fucking self. If it don't pay for itself, I'll send that bitch on its way. Yuta says, damn, North Dakota's where the money's at then? Pretty much for me. If you go to Chase and Andrew, watch some of his videos. And the latest video that I seen him talk about was something about e-logs and shit. And if you go to his YouTube channel and you see like his videos they be posting, you can see the loaders. Motherfuckers, you see that loader? Motherfuckers gotta wait 4 hours to get loaded. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. You know how long it takes me to get loaded? 5 minutes. Maybe 2 to 3 minutes. I pull up to a fucking loader. And my ass is out of that goddamn silo in like 2-3 minutes. I'm gone. Whereas in Texas, those motherfuckers, they gotta wait 4 or 5 hours just to get loaded. That's a big difference. So no. Fuck Texas. Excuse me. Dominic, he asked, how are the stocks going for you? Well, they're going good. I'm learning, man. Studying too. But I gotta make this YouTube channel. I gotta make this video because I haven't made videos in a while with you guys. So, you know, I gotta take care of you guys too. But that's why I haven't been making videos, because I've been studying, you know. So, to answer your question, right now I'm negative. I'm negative like $4 grand. Not a big deal.
Chart, whether it's a sub penny stock or any kind of stock, penny stock, not normal stocks. Normal stocks don't trade with these clean patterns where you have a clear. How do we get over here? God, this is killing me. This studio is shaped like an L, so it's very strange for me. So you have this morning spike, you have a little downtrend, you have bouncing. Remember, the low right here is what? 5.5. You know, let's just multiply it. Say 5.5. And right here, afternoon, right here. Look at that. No, 5.5. Exact bottom. That's what I'm talking about.
Yuta asked, so do you ever go home? No, I don't go home. I'll go home when I got cash in my pocket. I got cash now, but I need a lot more cash than that. That's when I'll go home. Dominic, he asked, why sand and not crude oil? Because I didn't get a job hauling crude oil. I got a job hauling sand, so that's why. JJR, he asked, recent grads welcome or not? It just depends on who you go with, you know what I mean? You know, bigger companies like Swift, they'll hire you, you know, because they're a bigger company. Their insurance can cover your ass. Whereas as far as owner-operators, not so much. You won't get an owner-operator to hire you unless he's got some sort of setup with his insurance where his insurance is able to cover you. But for the most part, you're going to get a lot of no's before you get yeses. You just got to dig. You got to keep looking and keep calling. You got to be persistent. You got to keep looking and keep looking. You know, especially if you're on Craigslist, you got to continuously look. They said, oh, no, we need somebody for 2 years. Usually it's about 2 years, the average. Average owner operator, they're going to want 2 years experience. Just because of their insurance. But yeah, if you want to come out in the oil field and you a recent grad, you want to call like Halliburton, I think they'll hire you. I'm not sure, don't quote me. Call like the big companies, Halliburton, Liberty, Oasis, Key, Baker Hughes, Schlumberger. Call those motherfuckers, they might hire you. But as far as like an owner operator, no. But you ain't gonna make the money I'm making. You know what I'm saying? If you're fucking with those big companies. I should take that back. You still gonna make $1,000 a week. You should. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. I haven't interviewed or talked to anybody who's driving a truck for a big company. I don't know what the fuck they're making. No, Swift. Stun Dunbar. He asked if Swift is in the oil fields. No, Swift isn't in the oil fields. They need to stay their ass in OTR. That's where they belong. Yes, Dominic, you do. Dominic asked, do you need a hazmat endorsement for oil? Absolutely. That's the only thing you need a hazmat for. As far as water and sand, you don't need no hazmat.
They fake out. Where lots of short sellers are like, oh, it's going to crack below right here. It's going to go down here. No, it held support and then it went higher. And it actually, the next day it went even higher because it actually broke out. It broke the day's highs from here and it broke the day's highs. So we're looking at this range in between, on this chart, 5.5 and 9. It held the support at 5.5 and it broke the 9, 8.5 really. So, you know, it's breaking out above a range. That's what you want to do. When you want to buy, you want to see it breaking out above a range. When you're shorting, you want to see it break below a range. So if it had broken 5.5, still it was up a lot on the day, so I wouldn't short it because the next day, even if it broke 5.5, and let's say it went to 5 or 4.5, chances are it will go higher because it's got the momentum, it's got the message board chatter, it's got the hype. Here's KOG. This is a classic just intraday chart pattern. This is for
Slide Dunbar. You asked, who is my teacher? He's talking about the stocks. Go to my About page. Go to my About page and click the link. That's my teacher.
April 8th to April 15th. So this is basically 7 trading days of a stock going from 1.8 to 2.8. This isn't volatile enough for me. You know, I have trouble holding a stock for more than an hour or two. And, you know, this is a very nice uptrend, very usual uptrend where you have, this is a morning spike right here. Here, you know, you're not really sure what's going on. This is actually a case of a midday spike where, you know, right here, it's right on the unchanged mark. Oh wait, no, that's a morning spike. Okay, so this was, my bad, I can't even see today. This was an afternoon spike, which was nice. This was a typical morning spike, right near the open, inside the first hour. And then you have a gap up, and then another morning spike, / afternoon increase. And then, this is a very typical topping pattern right here, where you have a morning spike, sideways action. You see how it goes negative? You see this line? That means the unchanged mark. And you think that it's going to go negative big, but remember, this is an oil play, so it's tied to the commodity. It's very difficult for it to break down big without oil breaking down big. If you're going to try and guess oil breaking down big, go try and run a hedge fund, because it's a very difficult market. NTI, this is another one. This is how stocks move up. Look at this. You have a morning spike. This one, what got it all started was a midday spike. That's less rare, but this morning spike is very, very usual. And then you have another morning spike. And what happens here with this one is it's not the morning spike right in the first half hour. You see here, there's this little mess for the first hour or so when shorts are adding, people aren't sure that it's going to spike up. But when it shows itself that it can increase in share price, stock price, that's when it really squeezes higher. And when it squeezes higher, you have a little momentum buyers, but it's a lot of short sellers. And most people don't understand short squeezes. I do. Here we go. Here's another one. You can see this one. This is kind of a stair stepper. You have the increase, sideways price action. This is the big spike. Buy the breakout right here. If you're watching this stock, the previous high was 3.3. You buy that. You see there's not a lot of volume spike, but you have this big potential spike where it goes from 3.3 to 4 inside of 2 hours. Inside of like 3 or 4 hours. It's pretty nice thing. And then it's choppy. I don't like choppy. I like those big spikes. I like trying to predict those big spikes or big drops. Here's another one. This one every single day. This was, remember the poker one? We have the chart back on a few charts ago. And you can see exactly how it's increasing. You have morning spike, sideways price action, morning spike, sideways, big morning spike, sideways, drop. Even when it drops and it's at the close, you have another morning spike. Morning spikes are the key. This would not be a short sell at all, because you see here, once you have a morning spike here, sideways action, morning spike here, sideways action, you have to buy this. You have to buy in the third day, because there's a good chance that there's going to be a morning spike. I didn't know it was going to be the biggest one from 4 to 6, but based on the previous 2 days where it's going up and holding near its highs, it's not easy to go up and hold near its highs. There's a lot of resistance to sell, but this one held near its highs and it spiked up. You see here on the third day when it kind of went sideways and then it dropped. It couldn't hold near its highs, and that kind of shows you the pattern is evolving, where there's not as many buyers, and that's a signal that the uptrend will end. Here's another one, URE. What do you think here? What does this look like? Morning spike. This one, how it all started, there's no spike. This is gradual uptrending, but it's holding near the highs. The morning spike is here. It's holding near the highs. You get another morning spike. And this morning spike fades. This is what happens. You have these morning spikes, and eventually it can't hold the gains anymore. And then eventually you don't have the morning spike. That is how this cycle plays out again and again. Look at this. This one was actually a little different. Remember USS? This was actually a Tim alert that I shorted. So you have an afternoon run up, holding near its highs, morning spike, holding near its highs, morning spike, a little morning spike.
Dominic, he says, what's the difference between stock trading and gambling? Well, gambling, I'll use an analogy because I'm very familiar with an analogy. If you a gambler, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you ain't never gamble, you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So it's going to be over your head. You fuck around, you got a bookie, right? They say you bet $10,000 on the fucking Dallas to win the game for the Dallas and the New York Giants game, right? And they're playing in Dallas. You put that fucking bet in for $10,000. You put that fucking bet in it with that bookie for $10,000, or a website like betus.com is who I use, right? I use betus.com in Costa Rica. Let's say I put $10,000 on the fucking Giants to win. I mean, with Dallas to win over the Giants, right? Once I place that fucking bet, that bet's locked. It's a done deal. Now, if I fuck around and I buy NETE, that stock I played last week, I had $17,000. I had $17,000 bet on this motherfucker for it to go down. I was up $4,000. Now, let's just say I bet on NETD drop. Let's say it did drop. Let's say it dropped to where I feel comfortable now. I'm up $4,000. I take that $4,000 on that whole ass. Now let's say I bet $17,000 for this bitch to drop. And it starts to go against me. Well, what I do? I just cut my losses. starts to go against me, I just cut my losses. We're gambling. If you were betting on Texas, if you were betting on Dallas to win over the Giants, during halftime, score is 7-28. Dallas. 7-28. Jets. Not Jets, but fuck. God damn, I don't remember my team now, man. What's the New York team? New York Jets and the other one. We got the Patriots. What's the other one? Jets, Patriots, and what's the other one? With Eli Manning. All right, so we bet on Eli Manning, right? We bet on Dallas, but Eli Manning, he's winning the game during halftime. Well, guess what? If it's 7-28, Eli Manning, motherfucker, you out $17,000. Good chance that they're gonna win that game. You can't pull your money back out. With the stocks, if that motherfucker starts to go against you, you pull your shit out immediately. You got the option to hit that button and say, hey, look, I'm done. So not only you don't have to worry about losing 17,000, you might be up a little bit. You know, you might be up a couple $100, or you might be down a couple $100, or you might be down a couple $1,000. But you get what the fuck I'm saying. It's not a gamble. It's only a gamble if you fucking hold that motherfucker while it's going against you. That's when it becomes a gamble. So no, that's the difference between stock market and fucking gambling. You can't get out when you losing and gambling. When you betting on fucking football team. If you bet on a stock, you can get the fuck out that bitch. Yeah, thanks, the Giants. You'd ask, did the company you're with teach you how to do pneumatic trailer? Yeah, the guy who owns the truck, he taught me how to do pneumatic. And he didn't really teach me. I pretty much learned on my own. He taught me the basics on how to blow the shit and how to use it, but everything else, you learn as you go.
And normally, instead of just going sideways, you had a big midday spike from 375 to 475, and then a downtrend. Then it started to get choppy. You know, when it has that big spike, I mean, that's all the short sellers just getting out. Remember, this chart, I don't know what slide number it corresponds to, but it's down a lot. So any kind of spike like this should be very temporary. Then what you have here is the gap up, and it looks like it's going to hold, but then it starts to fade. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the fade to start shorting. And I shorted this one at 460 right here when it took out the day's low, right anticipating that it would take out the day's low, because I'm trying to send it out to Tim Alert subscribers so that they don't completely miss it. And when they got the alert, you know, it was like 430, 440. It's still up on the day. You know, this line is when it goes negative. And so normally I would wait and short when it goes negative, but Tim Alerts forces me to be a little earlier because I'm also trading with 800 subscribers as of November 08. Obviously, most of them don't even open their emails. I can see who opens it. We have about 200 people that open the emails. The rest kind of, I don't know what they're doing. They're just lazy. Or maybe they don't care my reasoning. They just want stock picks, which is more realistic. Anyways, a lot of Tim Alert subscribers were complaining that, you know, when they got the alert, it already dropped 30 cents, which was, you know, a 7% drop. And I understand that. But then you have this kind of crash. And this is the kind of beautiful crash that you want to short into. And it drops from 425 to 325 in one afternoon. Next day, this stock is at $2 a share, crashing all the time, crashing in the morning. Instead of a morning spike the next day, you have a morning panic. I wish I had saved the chart. These charts are all from my blog, TimothySykes.com. I saved certain charts. I didn't save others. I'll do better in the future. But this is a classic rollover. And this is not a Roth IRA rollover. This is the stock rolling over. And you want to short into this kind of thing. When it goes from 2 to 5, piece of crap company, fade, big sellers above, you know, sideways price action, takes out the negative on the day. It's got every single variable that I look for a short sale. And that's why I was so successful. Even though I screwed it up, I shorted at 460. I think I covered at like 4 or 390 or something. And then it goes.
Slunda, what the fuck are you talking about? Back page. I ain't got no fucking back page. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Back page.
And a 2 the next day. Slide number 72. Grow. Take a look at this chart. You can see it's a lot like the spikes that we're talking about, but it's messy. And this was very tough to play when it goes from 5 up to 8. It's a piece of crap company, judging from the chart, judging from the long-term chart. Type in GRO, take a look at a multi-year chart, and see what I mean. This spike is a great opportunity to short into, but there's really no morning spike, there's no sideways action. You just have to wait for it to go negative. And remember what I said, it's very tough to short a stock going negative midday because you might bounce off this line and go up even more. And you have to cut losses. That's trading. Unfortunately for this stock, it faded perfectly. This line here, this line is on stockcharts.com. It's just a basic website for free charts. Tanked right here. And I don't know what my exact price is. Go to timothysykes.com/Tim. It's the same kind of theory where you have the strong stock temporarily for a few days. It's agriculture. Not because this company is any good or anything, really. Took a dive right here when it went negative. And again, $7 a share, you know, even though it closed at $7.25 or just under $7.25, it looks like $7, you know there's going to be a lot of buyers and sellers and stop losses there. That is a key target. So if you shorted at $7.25, you have to think, wait a minute, $7 per share is in my sights. Will it hold $7? I don't think it will. This time it didn't, and it dropped pretty quickly down to $6.50 within an hour or two. So this is not as easy. Here's STXX. Remember we showed this chart of it being up one day, and it couldn't even hold the second day of being up. Excuse me, I have something in my eye. Oh, it's tears from how great this is turning out. You can see this is the morning spike. You have a midday spike here, and it held near the highs. Morning spike couldn't hold it. This is such a bad company. It couldn't even have a 2-day spike, and it just dropped immediately from 550 down to 375 in the morning. Again, you know, it went negative right here, although you would have missed a lot of that. Sometimes you have to be early. No plays are exactly the same. It depends on how much risk you're willing to take. Here is MKTY. We have this kind of morning spike again. You have a nice little you know, cup and handle if you want another morning spike. But this one could not hold its morning gain.
Oh, you just go to About page. You go to my YouTube channel, right? Oh, you hear? Go to the About Me and then scroll down. Go to the About Me and scroll down. You'll see the link. Yeah, the teacher's link. Yep. Yuda, he says, "Are you thinking about getting your own truck?" Yep, I am, but it's the only way I'll get my own truck. I won't pay cash for the motherfucker. The only way I'll get my own truck is if my business credit, because I got a business, I got a trucking business. So Malay Transport LLC. If I can get my business credit up to where I can get $150,000, $200,000 worth of credit, I'll buy the truck with the credit, and I'll let the truck pay for itself. I won't come out of pocket for that motherfucker. Reason being is because, for whatever reason, if the business doesn't do good, it's on the credit. It's on the business credit. I don't give a fuck about that business credit. I do give a fuck about it, but it's on the credit. It's on the business. I can always file bankruptcy on the fucking business, you know what I mean? But I won't lose my ass trying to come out $80,000, pay cash for the motherfucker. You know what I mean?
And again, you have this, you know, unchanged mark, and it just basically dropped really quickly from 475 down to 375 really quickly. So you know, you can wait for the afternoon, but sometimes you miss those things. So if you want to take on a little more risk, short in the morning, but always try and short when the stock goes negative. This one was up from 225 to 5, so this one, you know, sometimes you have to get a little aggressive when you have a really crappy stock that's up a lot. It depends on how you want to play it. That's all I can say. Here's HYGS. You can see how choppy it is. Remember, this chart was the one where, you know, it's going up from like $1 to $2, and here's like, you know, it's a head and shoulders chart pattern, but it's not very easy. I shorted this. Guess where I shorted this? Can you guess? Shorted right here, 229, because it had gone up, but it had shown that it couldn't really go much past 230, 240. And there's a lot of buying going on. You have to watch the level 2. A lot of buying, lots of selling. but the stock price wasn't really going anywhere. When you have this kind of midday drop, that's the kiss of death.
Just so y'all know, this shit you listening to, I had to pay for the motherfucker. So y'all listen to this shit for free. I paid over $500 for this fucking shit. So the shit that you listening to, it ain't free, motherfucker. But you listening it to for free. So you guys got it good. But I had to pay for the motherfucker. Shit was sold $500, man, for this shit. $500 for this fucking video lesson. And guess what? You motherfuckers listening to it for free. So don't say I never did anything for y'all. Y'all listen to a $500 fucking video lesson for free. Y'all got it good, man. Y'all got it good. Y'all get to listen to video lessons for free. I gotta pay for all this shit.
Sometimes there's a bounce. Usually there's a bounce off this midday drop or morning drop. But it's usually the end of a big run-up because the momentum is clearly out, and you know the seesaw of momentum kind of shifts to the sellers because now there's what is it? There's fear in the stock. You know, when you have this kind of drop from 230 down to 2 or 190. I shorted at 230 and I covered at like 2 or 190. It doesn't matter. It wasn't a big game. If I had any patience whatsoever, down to $1.70 the next day. You know, but then I would have also had a rebound up to 230. Here's another profit angle. You can actually wait for this midday drop. See that the midday drop started right at 230. You see this bounce right here up to 230, short in the afternoon going into the close because now it's testing the former support, which it failed. You know, and you don't know the support or resistance levels on this one. You kind of, it's all.
Yeah, if you go to the About page, there is a direct link. You might have to copy paste. You might have to copy and paste it, but there's a link there.
Gray area. But here you have a big drop and you have an even bigger drop. So you really have to judge support and resistance lines. Here's Virgin Mobile. This stock ran up from 250. Yeah. Remember we saw the chart with the first red day much earlier in the presentation where it was going up, and you have a huge morning spike from 375 up to 5 on takeover rumors. This is an afternoon fade, even though it looks like it's dropping quickly. This whole little thing is one day. So you have it here kind of spiking and kind of deliberating here at 475. It's still up on the day though, so remember this is very early in the pattern. Even though it's dropped from 475 down to 425, it's still up on the day, could go up the next day, but when it's down and down.
You see that link in the bottom? This is my About page. I got the same thing you got, brother. That's my About page, right? Go to About, click the About, right? And you see that link right here on the bottom? Right here? Where it says, click the link below and get started. It's Profitly, Guru, Timothy Sykes, AFA. Yeah, click that link on the bottom, man. It's right there, bro. Yeah, it's right. There you go. Yeah, no problem, Dominic, man. Take it easy, brother.
Off its highs, that's usually a sign the momentum is waning. And take a look at what happened. This is how it ended up. These are the next 2 days. Let me get out of the way. So the next day, it still had a morning spike left in it. So it went from 425 up to 450. At 450, it realized, wait a minute, there's a lot of sellers, it's not going anywhere. This is a very nice afternoon fade right here. You know, in the afternoon where there's literally no upticks whatsoever. It's just gradually. My ideal entry, and I think I might have shorted this one or I might have missed it. I don't know. It doesn't matter whether I play it or not. That's why I'm doing these DVDs, so you don't miss it. Right here, the day low is just under 420. Short it right when it cracks that day low because it's going into the afternoon. You know, it's much safer that the stock is probably going to finish down on the day or finish down from the morning highs at least, or the morning lows. And it closed at 4, so you'd be up like 15 cents. You have a morning drop to like 3.90. That's very disappointing.
Right,
it
what's
only
up,
dropped
man?
to 3.90, and that's kind of what caused this little morning spike where it's only down 10 cents on the day. It's up from $2. People thought it would be down even more. Shorts got squeezed. This is a morning spike, a little morning spike, and then it really goes down really quickly from 4.20 down to 3.40. So you got the aggressive shorts out, and then it really just tanked. So also, if you don't want to get involved here, you can wait for this drop, wait for this spike, and then short it when it takes out this low. And that would have been a good short. If you shorted it around 380, you cover a 340 inside of a few hours. So you have to look at each resistance point, each support point. That's my lesson. Here's Dara, same thing that we've been talking about. You have the gradual run up at first, the morning spike, the fading, and the fade morning drop, spike. And I actually held this stock for many days, which was nice. It was, I don't normally hold stocks that long, but on this one I did, and I profited nicely. You can read the related blog post on it. Sorry for the mic problems. IDMI, this one, remember, this was the huge spike intraday, and you can see it gradually fading. It's kind of interesting how it faded, but within 2 days it faded down to $2.
Ronald. Oh shit, hold up. MC Chevy box boy. No, I didn't make my $500 back, but I'll make it. Ronald, he says you're gonna need a wheelbarrow for all that money. I know. You gonna tell me? Thanks for the info, man. Anytime, bro.
Sure. And I should group all these together, but I kind of want to make it.
I'm multitasking here, man, because I get a lot of fucking emails, man. I can't answer all of them. So the reason I've been doing videos is because I've been studying my ass off on these stocks. So I'm gonna fit you guys in with my schedule now. So even though I'm paying attention to what the fuck he's saying, I'm watching your questions, right? And I'll answer your questions as it goes. So whatever you got, any kind of questions you got, man, go ahead and put them on the comments, and I'll read them, and we'll get you squared away. But in the meantime, I'm focused on this money. So I'm doing you guys, I'm doing you, and I'm doing this. But I gotta focus on this shit.
To show you all the different possibilities of intraday charts. None of these stocks matter. It's all matters the chart pattern. Here's Arte. Here's a midday spike. I think they might have had news or something. It wasn't the greatest news, but this is what a midday spike looks like. And you have this kind of run up from 2.3 up to 3. I think, what was it? I think it was like an analyst note saying they were a potential takeover target. I don't know. Don't listen to analysts. They suck. And here, so you have a little drop. But again, if you wait until the afternoon, if you wait till this kind of dropping, where it's gradually going sideways, even a little bit higher. Sideways price action does not have to be exactly sideways. It's more about, look at it, it's having so much trouble going from 2.7 to 2.8. Meanwhile, it's still up a lot on the day. In the afternoon, it starts to drop. That's a good sign to short, although it's not ideal. PSTI, this one was being promoted by Jonathan Lebed. You can see this, somebody actually paid him. I don't know if it was a company or a third party, it doesn't matter. He was paid to pump the stock, send out emails. Right here from 2.5 up to 5.5 inside of 1 day. This was just crazy. And everybody wanted to short this. I mean, I think I wanted to short this like at 4, and it went up to 5.5, and I was like, psh. That's why I don't short on first days. I try not to. It did drop, did have a morning gap up, dropped again. Did have an afternoon drop increase, because you see it held this support from here, and it held it right here, little spike, and then you had a more gradual fading. And eventually the stock went to Nowheresville. So these are the kinds of patterns. Here's another one, FPP. It's not always so simple, or not so, morning spike and then drop. This one's choppy. You can see here that it's up on the day. This is when the stock is actually trading at 8. You have this afternoon drop. And again, look at this afternoon drop. Remember HYGS's midday drop, where you have this huge drop, you have this bounce, and then it finishes right near its lows, which is very bad for the next day. So you kind of have to understand what these patterns mean for the next day. It doesn't always work, but it's usually a good indicator. Dropping from $8 bad timing skills to make 30 to 50 cents a share. When it's this choppy, you just have to say, wait a minute, this thing isn't going down like it should. This is why, like, if I'm right, I know I'm right pretty quickly. Here's NOG. You can see here, you have the same uptrending morning spike. And this is beautiful. When you have a morning spike, remember, this is the unchanged mark right around 9:10. And